What's up, guys? I wanted to make another video continuing my real estate series, and this video is about legalizing funds in Colombia. What do I mean by legalizing your funds? Now, if you're like me, you may be interested in purchasing real estate in Colombia, specifically Medellin, Colombia, and one of the things you're going to come across when you're purchasing a property is you may just want to send your money directly to the seller. And you can totally do that. It's legal, it's just fine. A lot of sellers might even want to get paid in dollars. But there is a process called legalizing your funds. And this is the correct way to bring your money to Colombia. And so to legalize your funds, there's a couple companies that are popular here. One is Acciones y Valores, and the other one is Alianza Valores. And these are typical like bank type brokerages, professional companies that will help you bring your funds over to Colombia, convert them to Colombian pesos, and complete your purchase. The way it works is they set up an account for you over here, sort of an intermediary account. You wire your dollars to this account, and sometime within the next 30 days after wiring your money, you are supposed to convert it into Colombian pesos. If you don't do that within 30 days, they will send your money back to America, and you have to restart the process. Now, the reason you would want to legalize your funds is multitude of reasons. The main reason being this is the legal and correct way to bring your money over. The second reason being, if you ever go to sell your property in the future, you can easily get your money out of Colombia. Since you declared it when you brought it in, the government is going to have no problem letting you take it right back out. Now, the reason they have all these controls is because this is an old narco state, and there's a lot of people with a lot of cash that are trying to move money out of the country. So those funds are obviously not legalized, and those people will have a heck of a time trying to wash their money out of pesos into dollars or just out of the country. And the protections are there for a lot of good reasons. And okay, how much does it cost to legalize your money in Colombia? Well, it's typically 0.4% of any transfer you make. You're going to have to pay to the government. I forget the name of it, but it's like this 4 by 1,000 type tax. And so for every $1,000 you bring in, you got to pay $4 in this transfer tax. And 0.4% is not a lot of money. Okay, another cool advantage of having your money in this intermediary account is, like I said, you have 30 days to make the conversion. So you can sort of sit back and watch the currency move up or down, and maybe on a day where you feel like it's favorable to you, you can send a message to Acciones y Valores and they will make the conversion that day. So you can catch a nice little currency swing, or on the other hand, you may not be good at that and you may lose some money converting your money on the wrong day. So it's a double-edged sword, but once you get sort of used to watching how the Colombian peso moves against the dollar, it becomes somewhat clear as when you should transfer your money, and you could save a few $1,000s just by taking advantage of that swing in the market. What else? Oh, okay. So probably the most important reason you would want to legalize your funds is to gain an investor visa. Now, a lot of people who are purchasing property are doing so for the main reason of trying to get a long-term visa in Colombia. They recently did change the laws, but you still have access to an investor visa if you purchase a property worth over 350 millones de pesos. That was in 2022. They're probably going to raise it in 2023. It'll probably be 400, 450 to sort of match inflation, just like they raised the minimum wage or anything else every year. So as long as you're buying a property around 400 or more millones de pesos, then you're going to qualify for the migrant visa, which is a visa good for 1 to 3 years. You can renew it every year, and eventually after 5 years you can apply to get residency. Not residency, but citizenship. Actually, you will have residency just by having the investor visa. And when you have the investor visa, you will also, since you have residency, you can get a cedula, you can open a bank account, you can conduct business just like a Colombian could in this country. Another cool advantage of using a brokerage account to legalize your funds is it's a really easy way to pay the seller the property or any contractors or vendors that you need to pay. You can just send a message to the brokerage team and give them the wire instructions, and they'll shoot the money right into their Colombian bank account. This makes the purchasing process very easy, and everything is by the book, and the money is there really quickly. There's no delay, there's no checks, nothing like that. You can get a check if you want, but it's usually done by wire. You can also deposit the money into your own Colombian bank account through this system. And yeah, so the 350 millones de Colombian pesos, that's equal to right now maybe, I don't know, 80,000 bucks. Next year it's going to be probably 400 or 450, and that will be around $90,000. So that's the minimum you need to spend to qualify for the investor visa. And you will not qualify for the investor visa if you just wire your funds directly to the seller. So this is very paramount to anybody looking to stay long term or to be a real investor here in Medellin or in Colombia. Yeah, so those are some of the reasons why you might want to legalize your funds when purchasing real estate in Colombia. You'll find that when you are working with a brokerage like Acciones y Valores or Alianza Valores, it becomes very reassuring for the seller, for the agents involved, and for anybody else involved in the transaction. They recognize these companies, they understand this process, and it makes things really smooth and easy and gives the seller confidence that you can complete the transaction. It's as good as cash. You can show proof of funds to the seller and things like that to sort of facilitate the transaction and make negotiating easier on your side. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below.